old stone and rubbish.
My dear, you don't know how much this place means to me. When I was a soldier in World War II, I was so young, handsome, and muscular.
Grandpa, let's go straight to the point. I know you were once good looking and all, but it doesn't help to explain why we are here.
Alright, at that time, many years ago, many brave soldiers and I garrisoned at Devil's Peak. I can remember every single minute I spent here.
Where is Devil Peak?
Do you know where Devil's Peak is?
Do you know where is Devil's Peak? No. Do you know where is Devil's Peak? No. No.
Grandpa, could you please tell me more about the Devil Peak?
Of course, I'm more than happy to tell you the story. First of all, let me bring you back to those days of war.
At the end of the 19th century and early into the 20th, the British authorities were very concerned about perceived threats to the safety of their colonial possessions in the Far East, including Hong Kong, from other European powers. Accordingly, the British government constructed impressive military fortifications to protect their imperial possessions, and one of these was at Devil's Peak at the eastern extremity of the Kowloon Peninsula. The large fortification constructed to defend the eastern approaches to Hong Kong harbour consisted of 2 fixed-gun battery positions with 4 gun emplacements, together with a redoubt at the summit of Devil's Peak, which later became the Fire Command headquarters for the eastern part of Hong Kong. Due to the changes in the defence plan, all 9.2-inch guns in both batteries were removed at the end of 1936. A gun from Gulf Battery was moved to Stanley, while 2 guns from Portingal Battery were sent to Cape d'Agua. The 6-inch guns in Gulf Battery was later taken away in 1910. As a result, there is no fixed armament at the Devil's Peak in late 1930s. Although the position was eventually considered redundant and was in fact decommissioned before the outbreak of the Pacific War, the location was the scene of bitter fighting between the courageous Indian soldiers of the Rajput Battalion and the attacking Japanese army during the Battle of Hong Kong in December 1941. The foot of the Devil's Peak is opposite to the Hong Kong Island, divided by the most narrow sea path of the Victoria Harbour, while the peak itself can give a defence coverage over the east of the Hong Kong Island. Having realised the strategic significance of Devil's Peak, Brigadier Wallace, commander of the Mainland Brigade, quickly informed Macbeth, but his report was overlooked. Macbeth planned to use Rajputs to defend the impending attack of the Hong Kong Island. Retaining the stronghold at Devil's Peak was not deemed as a priority. The evacuation was undertaken in the early morning of the 30th at the foot of the Devil's Peak with the assistance of a number of MTB and the Royal Navy only destroyer in Hong Kong from the Far East Squadron. Later that night, the 2nd Battalion of the Japanese Left Flank Group occupied Devil's Peak. After the 5th of July Rajput left Devil's Peak, Kowloon was captured by Japanese. Soon after, heavy bombing was directed to the north shore of Hong Kong Island. Devil's Peak was utilized by the Japanese as an excellent artillery position, something which whalers feared.
Now we are here to have a close look at the current situation of Devil's Peak and the 4 structures. Standing on the Devil's Peak at the level 222 meters and looking to the south, you can see Hong Kong Island across the strait. To the east, you can look over Jung Bay towards Tung Lung Chau. The old Kai Tak runway and Hong Ham as well as North Point on the island are at the west. And looking to the north are the Chinese Permanent Cemetery and various parts of Sai Kung. Of course, the main focus at this location is the redoubt. The area of this redoubt is 1,240 meters. It is in rhombo shape on plans and looks like a crater from the air. It was built to circumscribe the rock outcrop of the Devil's Peak, so its shape follows the basic topography of the summit of Devil's Peak. Here, we can see that the redoubt still retains its contiguous external walls and internal dividing walls, but only a few roofs survive. These walls were mainly built in stones and concrete. Most of the walls were about 500 mm thick, and the height ranged from 1.25 meters to 3 meters. The passages have widths varying from 1.75 meters to 2.5 meters. There are 100 loopholes which can be found on all side walls of the redoubts. Besides that, the stone inscription showing 14th Coil REN 1914 can also be found on one of the interior walls.
Now we are somewhere not far away from the redoubt where a small site at 196M lies. It is connected with the redoubt by a firing trench built of stones, which is full of dense undergrowth. Materials such as concrete and cement were used for the building of this site. And this site was likely to be an observation post or machine gun emplacement that covers both the redoubt and Gulf Battery. However, as what we can see now, only lower parts of some of the wall structures have remained. Here, we can see the most conspicuous features of the defense structures on Devil's Peak. They are the two gun emplacements of the Gulf Battery. Even though the Gulf Battery was built before 1900, the emplacements are now found to be in fairly good condition. There is no obvious damage to the concrete aprons and gun pits of the emplacements, although all metal parts of the shell cubicles of the emplacements have been taken away. The emplacements were equipped with a 6-inch quick-firing gun and a 9.2-inch gun. It also consists of associated magazines and bunkers. The battery has concrete base and a U-shaped defensive wall. Concrete is the main material used in the construction of Gulf Battery. However, some fine bricks are found in the vaulting of the underground magazine between two gun emplacements. Interestingly, two unusual concrete pipes pillboxes are found at the site. The designs are known as War Office Type FW3/25 and the TAT turret.
If compared to the Gulf Battery or the redoubt, Pottinger Battery is relatively inaccessible on foot or by sea. This is because the coastline is rocky and there is no natural or artificial landing point. Furthermore, the fence of the borrowed platform are incomplete and breached at some places, and there is thick vegetation which often consumes excavated Chinese grass and old military paths.
You see, this place means a lot to me. In fact, not only me, but our Hong Kong. It plays an important role in the defense against the brutal Japanese. You know how bad the Japanese treat us. They burn our house, kill innocent, and rape girls. I don't know why. How come the government don't treat this valuable land well?
Hey Papa, don't be sad. Maybe the government is only lacking in ideas to preserve it properly.
Excuse me, do you know where we are? I've tried to find our way according to this map, but we never succeed. I think the government should add more road instruction boards to guide visitors like us to find the heritage.
Cool, just follow us. Hope we won't let you to the wrong road. Oh, wait, since we haven't introduced ourselves, I am Leo, and this is my grandson, Benji.
James,
Oh, shall we go now?
let's go, let's go! Woo!
By the way, how do you know this place?
We are university students. We are recently taking a course about heritage preservation related with property rights. The professor has introduced us this gorgeous place to us. Since then, we are fascinated with it. We
Yeah.
hope to learn more about this place from this site visit and hope to pass our knowledge from generation to generation as this place seems so significant to Hong Kong.
Yeah, so I expect there should be some guided tours or at least some information boards to read so that we can learn more about the history of this place. But it seems that nothing has come true. The value of preservation loses and the reality is cruel.
Come on, James. Let's enjoy our environment. You see there, it's so beautiful.
Hey, the battery emplacement is there!
Wow! Wow, finally! Thanks so much for bringing us here right. Wow, the preservation here is actually so much better. Unlike the redoubt, at least not much of the old concrete structure is broken, and at least not much unnecessary concrete structure is built by the government. Once I saw the redoubt, I just thought that how come the structure could be so badly damaged? The demolishment of the roof, the weathering of the stone and so on. But what really makes me angry is not about this, but the so-called preservation made by the government. There is no preservation value at all.
Yup, and even worse, the government has damaged the site, I think. The concrete pavement and stairs are some typical examples. Although these constructions can reduce the difficulties of visiting the site, it has buried a lot of Devil's Peak heritage, like the trench of the British Army and so on. In fact, these problems can be solved by simply building a road far away from the route that has its historical meaning.
Yup, that's true. In fact, the government should consult the specialists before conducting any work and come up a solution that can preserve the site and make no damage to the site. To get things straight, the government should build up serious, systematic preservation measures like rehabilitation of this military site by actively directing the renovation work and transforming it into unique historical landmarks. In addition, government should resume the land and lease it into a country park area so that the Department of AFD can assign some wardens there to regulate at the place for renovation. In fact, government should also get some information boards there in order to minimize the ruins brought by the visitors.
That is true. And in a public aspect, public involvement in conservation plans is essential. Community-wide consensus in revitalizing historical sites should be built. The general public should have greater awareness about the sustainability in Hong Kong. Also, each stakeholder should cooperate well with each other to maximize the investment and the benefits in this place. For example, the visitors and hikers should not draw artificial graffiti in this place.
Promotion of Devil's Peak is also very important. By organizing some visit tour for public to let people to know more about it, so that those disguised pressure will not be lost by the crush of time. The success of preserving Devil's Peak will serve as a great example of sustainable development, which helps spread the idea of conservation to the whole community.
Proud to hear that from both of you, young man. Let's hope the government will do some improvement. Oh, it's late now. Benji, we have to go now. Say goodbye to Uncle Tom and James.
See you.
See you.